happy to see us, and we know you're all going to groan because Whoopi has the day off. Groan.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was off for 3 days. Did they groan?
No.
During the commercial break, they did.
No. And I'm not on every day, and when I'm not on, they don't groan.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. No, let's face it.
During the commercial break, they do.
No, maybe it's because I'm having a bad summer.
Why?
So you were not here,
Yeah.
and just in case you didn't hear this, and I will not go into great detail, I came home Sunday night, and there was a dead pigeon on the floor in my bathroom. All right?
Did you kill it?
Barbara has done some CSI work, so you got to tell her.
Exactly. So, okay, so that's the first thing. That's not the most pleasant thing to come home to. Yesterday, I come home, and my fire alarm is on.
Oh.
Did you ever have a fire alarm? Beep, beep. It does not go on.
So
we do everything.
were you cremating the pigeon? Is that why?
The pigeon was gone.
The pigeon was gone.
The pigeon was gone.
They
I did not
removed it.
do anything to the pigeon. The fire alarm is on. My nice superintendent comes up. He can't turn. Nobody can turn it off. It goes on. We pull switches. We do this. We do that. Finally, the people from ADT, I must say, came up. It was like 9 o'clock at night, but they came. I am wondering if there are people in the building who are trying to get me out of the building.
I think it might be another pigeon.
Have you angered somebody?
I don't know. I don't know, but these are 2 incidents in 3 days.
Maybe
I think it's a lot. I'm very cross.
This is not a good start to the summer,
This
Barbara.
is not a wonderful start.
Barbara, you're getting a little paranoid, you know.
No, but she's had a lot going on this week. The pigeons, the
If
fire.
you found a pigeon in your bathroom, would you think you were paranoid, or would you think there was a pigeon in your bathroom?
My father used to have pigeon coop on the roof. He used to, like, fly the pigeons, like, on the waterfront.
But they didn't come in your bathroom.
No, they didn't.
No.
But he'd bring the eggs home, and I'd put them under my pillow. I was a little stupid.
And then they get up. But you also have a little worry.
When it rains, it pours, and not only just from the sky. Apparently, I went to the doctor yesterday, and she said, be really careful. I've had all these women go into labor this week because of the drop in barometric pressure. And I had no idea that during stormy weather, you're more likely to break your water. So you never know today or tomorrow.
Well, we are live
Even
at
in the moment. It could happen. But
So
she literally told me, she said, any minute, just know the pressure somehow causes your water sac to break.
When is your due date?
August 11th.
You know, with all this
So you're
in
12
vitro,
days away.
going on, you could have a tsunami in New York.
I mean, really.
And if you break, you better call. Call Bill, because he will be over there with a flip cam.
Bill's handy with the mop, right? You can mop it up.
No, he's not a mop.
Bill has a camera.
Bill does not mop.
He does not care about mopping. All he
just wants
cares
to get it on
about. I mean,
camera.
we have a thing later on with Sherry getting a bikini wax. I mean, I thought, what? And Bill said, oh, it's great television.
When I had the flu that time, remember emergency took me out on the gurney? He was like, can you hold on? I got to go get the camera for this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So he will be there.
There is no respect for
No,
us.
flip it.
We have wonderful guests on today, and I went to see the movie called Funny People, okay? And the producer, director, Judge Apatow?
Apatow.
Okay, and the star Seth Rogen are here. Anyway, one of the major points in this movie is that male comedians are depressed loners who have no relationship with anybody. They can't stay in a marriage. They're no good with their families. They're loners. Well, you're both stand-up.
But we're female. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
That's my point.
It seems
Is
like
it different?
It seems like, you know, as a woman and my female comic friends, we didn't go through all of that. You know, none of us is married. None of us stayed in a marriage. That's probably the one thing we have in common. But
it's because you're too funny for the guy to handle? Do the guys like to be the funny ones?
Yeah. Well, it's harder to keep a relation. I met Steve before I was a comedian, but once you're a comic and you're up there with the microphone, it scares a lot of guys.
But don't you think it's your personality? You're always funny. You're always a funny comedian.
Well, but do you think that men don't like women?
Like a funny woman, they just don't necessarily want you up there holding the mic.
Yeah.
Or if you're on stage, like when I was younger. When I did stand-up comedy, when I was younger, I talked about, you know, I talked about sex when I was younger, and so men see you and they think that is your persona off the stage. So that was a problem that I had too.
So do you think men don't like funny women?
No, they do. They do. They've come a long way.
Confident men. I think a confident man appreciates
They just
that.
don't want to be a topic on stage.
But there is an obsession with the male member within this movie.
In Funny People, it was a lot. I mean, I laughed from beginning to end, but it was a lot of, you know, Seth Rogen was talking a lot of sex.
Well, it wasn't just a lot of sex. It was a lot of stuff, and it wasn't just body parts. It was genitalia.
Your gassish stuff.
I can say it once, because then, other than that, standards and practices gets very nervous.
Genitalia, you can only say once?
No, genitalia I can say many times. There were a lot throughout all of the comedians. The biggest laughs all had to do with penis. That I can say once.
Can we all say it once, or do we each
say it once?
Can't overdo it. They get mad. You can say other ways. You can say Mr. Happy is a good way to describe it. You can say male member, but you can't say the P word exactly.
My point is, the men just think this is hilarious, all of these jokes. Do women find these jokes about male genitalia so funny?
But we do them too, you know.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
But men don't find it when we find it funny about their unit. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want us to think their unit's funny.
Like, you know what they don't find funny? You know what they don't find funny?
That's a new one.
Mr. Happy, their unit.
Do you remember yesterday, Barbara? You remember yesterday I wanted to talk about, there was a story of a woman who who threw boiling hot water on the man's crotch. Oh. And Bill got so upset because he's like, I don't understand why you laugh at that all the time. That's not fun.
But when you're getting wait a minute, when you're getting a bikini wax, then he's laughing.
Yeah, then he's laughing.
Okay, enough said.
See, when I saw the bikini wax, which you'll see later, and you're screaming and so forth, it made me very uncomfortable. Bill said it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
So, you know,
I think it's going to be funny. Only because I have no idea what's going on below the equator here, so the idea of just anything
You're worried about your water, you're worried about your bikini wax. I'm sort of worried about Joan Rivers, our friend.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, she took a shot at Jay Leno. She said, and I'm quoting, that it's brilliant that Leno is at 10 p.m. because she says America can get bored more easily and go to sleep earlier. Wow. Okay? So, I mean, you know, Jay Leno's a very popular man. Well, you didn't laugh,
well,
you
groaned. Well, delivery was rather morose.
You do it here. You do it. You say it. You do it.
Well, how does it go? What does it
go back on the...
Go back. It's on the prompt.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Read it funny.
Yeah.
Okay, read it funny.
It's brilliant that Leno was at 10 p.m. because now America can get bored more easily and go to sleep earlier. A little better.
But it's still a dig. I think it's still a little dig.
Whatever way you do it.
Still didn't dig a Jay.
On paper, not so funny, but maybe in person funny, right?
The sarcasm doesn't work on paper.
Yeah, but the point is that Jay Leno's a very popular man, and we love him, and we love Joan, and why, you know, she has...
Well, years ago, if people remember, when Joan was on Johnny Carson a lot, remember? And then she got her own show on Fox, I believe, and she didn't ask Johnny for permission. She's a grown woman. She's older, almost as old as he was, and she didn't ask his permission to get her own show. And he was very ticked off in those days, very ticked off. His ego was quite wounded. And so all of these male comedians who were late night blackballed Joan from being on their show. You'll never see her on Leno. I've never seen her on Leno. I've never seen her on Letterman, Kimmel. Now we have the rest of them.
Not even the like new and upcoming shows that are none of them have her on?
There's like a talk about a conspiracy.
What about Jimmy Fallon? Has he had her on?
Not yet. I think Jimmy should have her on so that he can break the spell.
Break the seal. Go ahead, do it, Jimmy.
Because she's funny.
But I think that's interesting that they would just blackball.
And that they've held the grudge so long.
Well, do you think they did?
Men stick together, boy.
Well, she said when she was here, though, she said that it was Ed McMahon, right? Was the one
was good to
that
her.
was one guy who was out of that maybe club, if there was one.
Yeah, but
that was nice to her.
He had no clout, though, obviously, to put her on.
But he at least took a step forward and said, you know what, she's still my friend.
Yeah, but he was already off the show.
Well, if the men stick together, the women stick together, and Joan is welcome with us anytime, right?
Anytime, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to come back and talk about the beer summit. It's taking place tonight. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Today,
you know,
right? Picnic
today.
table?
It's today. It's what is it? This afternoon, isn't it?
I think so.
When the president is meeting with the police officer and Skip Gates, Professor Gates. Well, we'll come back and see what everybody thinks. We'll be right, but we're not going to talk anymore about genitalia, okay? We'll go on to other subjects. We'll be right back. I can't say it.